The club UK Ireland Skip Barber Racing School heads itself over to the 4-mile racetrack known as Road America in the heartland of Wisconsin, and coverage will start next here only on RaceSpotTV. Cars are lined up on the grid. The Irish.com World Championship Grand Prix Series. We are underway. They all come down into turn one for the first time. Monday night Skippys returns to RaceSpotTV. The club UK Ireland Skip Barber Racing School heads itself over to Road America, the track that measures exactly 4 miles in length, has itself 17 corners, including some most famous corners in all of North American racing. That famous Canada corner, after the King, after the Carousel, is so important for drivers. But here today, it'll be that run at the final corner after Bill Mitchell Bend that will decide who's going to be winner and who will be sat here on the podium, but thinking, what if I made that move just a couple of corners earlier? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Will Vincent, Rachel Whiteford here on RaceSpotTV. Qualifying is all about done, so we can head ourselves down to the starting grid for tonight's event. And you can see it'll be Sebastian Job on pole position, Mark Mercer in second, Roderick Kostovich in third, and Graham Carroll on the outside of that second row of the grid. Row number 3 will be Matthew Daniels and Rafael Draskas. Row 4, Clark Williams, Marcus Hamilton, Row number 5 will be Thomas O'Leary and Tom Ward, with Fahim Atinides and Simon Povey in row number 6. Stuart Adcock and Rob Kane in row 7, Keith Sharp, Paul Thurks in row 8. Row 9, Brendan O'Brien and Mark Turner, Regain Forrest and Dominic Brennan, rounding out your top 20. Note, your top 20 are separated by less than just 1 second on the racetrack. Martin Peck in 21st position, Alan Piercy 22nd, Adrian Bidwell, Robert Plumley P23 and 24, and then you can see the rest of the qualifying up on your screen as we speak. Drivers have already headed themselves down to the starting grid for tonight's event, as it will be Sebastian Job on pole position. 41 drivers have headed themselves to Road America. A couple of less have actually made themselves a qualifying attempt, and we will pay attention to those drivers over the course of the race at the front end of your field, waiting for Job to head himself down to the starting grid. We're waiting for a lot of these drivers actually. They can see your starting grid. It's a little bit empty at the moment, which we expect to see just fill up in the next couple of moments' time. Sebastian Job at the front of the field. You can also see Graham Cowell getting himself ready to get himself to the starting grid. Also, we're at Plumley in that 147 car. He's had himself a change of form over the last couple of weeks. Sebastian Job there, front end of your grid. Any moment now, we'll be getting ourselves ready to go racing here in the Club UK Ireland Skip Barber Racing School Series. And, well, we're just waiting now for Sebastian Job and all these other drivers. They are now all on the grid. Those engines, any moment now, will get themselves a revving, and we'll be racing here today in the Club UK Ireland Skip Barber Racing School Championship. That will be in literally about 20 seconds time. But those engines are now revving. 10 laps here. Road America, 40 miles will start right now. We have ourselves a driver missing from this front end of the grid. That's the driver in P number 2. That will give Sebastian Job all the opportunity he needs coming down towards turn number 1 for the first time. But Rachel Rudzik-Stevinovic up into second place at the start of this event. All these trailers storming down towards turn number 1. They are 2-3 wide into that first corner. This track is narrow. These drivers will have to be very, very careful.
They will indeed. Mercer, of course, making a pit road start for this race for technical reasons, I believe. But everyone getting through turn 1 cleanly right now. Still 2 wide into turn 3, of course. Probably turn 2 in our minds, but there you go with corner numbering. Everyone getting singled out now as we run down to turn 5, Will.
Yeah, and here they come down towards turn 5. You've already got Marcus Hamilton running himself side by side. It's about for P number 7. Or P number 6 as it is now on the racetrack. Let's have a look at Marcus Hamilton there. You can see alongside him, 3 wide, down towards turn number 5. Number 98 car alongside him. That's Clark Williams. Tom Ward there in the mix as well. Tom Ward on the ultra inside line, but it'll be Marcus Hamilton who loses out a position there as they work themselves out of corner number 5. Down underneath the Corvette bridge. He's still side by side. 2 wheels on the grass. Hamilton will concede there, not only to the driver Clark Williams, Rachel, but also to his own teammate, Tom Ward.
Yeah, he will indeed, but that was brave manoeuvring, Will. Turned 5 3 wide, and they made it stick, so impressive start to this race for those guys, and those friction racing cars definitely making their presence felt.
Yeah, you've got a friction racing car currently scored in P number 2. That is Graham Carroll. You can see him there as we zoom on him in that friction racing 00 machine. You've also got yourself a friction racing driver down into P number 7. That is Tom Ward. You've also got Rafael Drasquez currently running inside the top 5. He's not a friction racing driver, but he's having himself a pretty good start to that race inside that top 5, although we've got ourselves what realistically is a 4-car breakaway. You have got ourselves the battle for the race lead. Sebastian Job, Graham Carroll side by side down towards Canada Corner. It will look as though that Graham Carroll will go himself down to the inside, down to Canada Corner. He will get that position and he will move himself to the race lead. A little bit of contact there, but they all hold it together. Sebastian Job on the outside, half the inside line, down to Bill Mitchell-Benbury, right on board with Graham Carroll. Sebastian Job gonna sweep on past, and Rachel, he keeps that race lead, but it's only going to be a matter of time until that driver of Graham Cowell in that 00 friction racing car will try and move himself back up to the point.
It will indeed, and look who's in P4 right now. Matthew Daniels has managed to tag onto these front guys as they start to make a bit of a breakaway with Rafael Drasquez in tow in P5, of course. Well, we know Cowell's made his return to this series. He's not been here all season so far as he goes to the inside of Sebastian Job there. We'll have the point for turn 1 there, but we know from Road America in the past, Will, just how fickle it is to lead a lap here, because it could be 3 or 4 different leaders a lap.
It's not worth it. Graham Carroll goes to the point for the time being. However, Sebastian Job right there behind him. Rudzik-Stevinovic in the number 80 car. He currently runs himself in P number 3. If you've ever had a track where we say the words, set your photo finish cameras, This is one of them. In P number 4 is Matthew Daniels in number 41 machine. Your top 4 drivers separated by just 0.6 of a second. Out of turn number 2, down on lap number 2 here, out of 10. Down in your field, we had a couple of drivers out in the early going in this race. You got Stuart Bunyan, Alan Patterson, and Daniel Hahn classified as out. Down the very rear of your field is Mark Mercer in the number 31 car. He has done a pit road start, Rachel. He's down in 38th position. He's got a long way to go to even get himself inside the top 20.
He does indeed. I think from what he's just been saying in driver communications, he missed the start there. So, well, those fire suits take a long time to zip up after you've been for a pee, so obviously he might need to remember that one for next time round, as we have a huge pack of cars here at the top end of the teens and into the top 10. Getting through the hurry downs now, I've got right now, that is Stuart Adcock, Simon Povey, side by side with Fahim Antonides.
Yeah, it is all too wide to work yourself through the pack, and as you can see, a little bit further on, underneath the Speedfield Bridge, because sausage is all we do if you're Johnsonville, as we're looking at P7, P8, P9, P10, that's Hamilton, O'Leary, Adcock and Williams, scrapping it out for position. A little bit further back, you've got yourself Dominic Brennan right on the rear of the driver on Martin Peck. This is about for P number 15 right now. They are scrapping it out, rear end of your middle pack. And Rachel, it's interesting to know that all these drivers, all the way down to P number 14, are separated within about a tenth or so of each other. Couple of tenths, and then you got your second pack. That is P number 15 all the way back. But shoot Adcock in P9, well, he can go forward or he can go backwards very, very quickly in this race.
Yeah, he can indeed. He's in that kind of flux spot there, Will, where one position loss can leave you hung out for quite a while, which, well, when you get a train of this sort of size on a road course, being offline is a humongous penalty. Those cars, big train, he'll end up down in 15th if he falls out of line here, so important to keep that one in position and hopefully gain some spots. But as things go, we have a choo-choo train leading all the way from top 10 down to 12th position. The P1 to 12.
We're having a look on board with Peter Cohen as he done himself an incident. This will be down on the run to Canada Corner. He gets himself 2 words on the grass. Oh, a car spinning ahead of him there. And that caused a 2-3 car incident. Number 16 car involved in that one. Peter Cohen turned upside down and around in that number 18 machine. And Rachel, we didn't see that one initially, but that was a huge incident there with Simon Maltby involved in it as well. We're getting ourselves another look at one. Thomas Stanley involved in the mix, and that was a big incident down at the fastest part of the racetrack.
It was indeed, and I believe the incident was actually initiated by, I think that is the 14 car there of Adrian Bidwell in that McLaren Marlboro paint scheme. He gets a wheel on the grass, and that car just spins on him on his own and across the track, catches Bidwell there, which hooks in several of the cars. So major incident, bunching up the rear end of the field.
Yeah, they can see Adrian Bidwell in that number 14 machine. Just see he comes back across the racetrack, and this is where it gets oh so dangerous. Cars slipping around him. Adrian Bidwell, that's why he's out of the race. Now, it's interesting that Jonas van Verke has also had himself an incident, and he is classified as down the field for the time being. We'll pay attention to see what the issue of that one is. We've had a couple of people on pit road already. Mark Mercer, we know, started from pit road. Adrian Bidwell on pit road. Stuart Bunyan on pit road. Stuart Maltby, Peter Cohen currently scored on pit road. Rear end of your top 20. Looking on board, we're going forward, trying to battle it out with Paul Thurston in the battle for P number 19 on the racetrack. But out front, Rachel, we have still got ourselves a driver of Sebastian Jobe leading the way, and I can confirm that Jonas van Verke is indeed on pit road.
Yes, he is, and well, Sredovic back up to P2 there. It had been Graham Carroll for quite a while here, and well, Sredovic looking at the outside of Canada Corner as they approach, but will he actually have anything for him here? Carroll's drafting up behind Jobe there, so it's this typical 3-4 car mess at the front of the field at Road America, Will. No one can place an idea on who will win. These cars will stay together, and they'll be together till the final corner, so it's going to be, oh, one's leading, oh, the next one's leading. Like a Daytona on an oval.
Yeah, it is, and we can see Jonas van Verke there. It was a single car spin by him, which then ended up him collecting a driver. That's a number 23 machine. We collected, no, he didn't actually. Van Verke just spun across the racetrack all by himself, clambered into the wall in the Radical Racing UK car. Well, he is out of the race, and that is not what he wants to do here today. Sebastian Joblo is going to go side by side. Roderick Savinovic is going to head himself to the point. They're going to go 3 wide, down towards turn number 1. Who will be the winner here? Well, you got yourself the number 80 car down on the inside. That is Savinovic. Carroll will sweep around the outside though. Oh, Job! They're getting themselves 2 wheels in the air, Rachel. He does hold on, but Sebastian Job, that was the nearest of all near misses for him.
It was indeed so close to the outside of Savinovic there, and potentially suspension damage for Job. We're not going to know really until we look at his lap times, because that car's now at the back of that 4-car train. Big gap, of course, backwards to Tom Ward in P5, but that could have ended his race. That could have ended several cars racing at the front here, Will.
Well, let's have a look at Sebastian Job. This is down towards turn 1, and look at him. He comes across there, down towards turn 1. The driver, the RGB machine there of Roderick Savinovic, hasn't yet made the corner. Job gets 2 wheels into the air. That pushes him up the racetrack, but he is still remaining in the 3rd place. He's currently side by side with Matthew Daniels in that battle for P number 3. We've got ourselves 2 cars turned around as well behind. That's Rafael Draskas. Let's go look at the replay with him then. This is down the middle part of your pack, and Rachel, we have ourselves one in it. It's like a London bus. They all start doing it out. One's Rafael Draskas going through. Well, that's for him. Martinez there in the mix. You've also got yourself the 07 car, I believe. That is down in towards turn number 5. And well, let's get ourselves a replay of this. And Draskas there, down on the ultra inside the 87 car. That was a huge slumming offer of a, well, that's a huge hit.
Yeah, well, I think it was initial contact in the braking zone there with the 98 of Clark Williams. He had to get off the brakes. That put him on the grass. He couldn't put the brakes on without risk of spinning. And, well, he went straight across the apex there and boom, confetti. That was not what he wanted, but it's just one of those problems with running 3 wide into turn 5 here at Road America. Turn 5 is a death trap of a corner.
Yeah, they can see Clark Williams getting turned upside down.
Oh, Will, got to stop you there because at the moment, Job is coming back to the front already.
Let's go on board then with Sebastian Job. This is a run then out of Canada corner through Bill Mitchell Bend they come. This is the penultimate corner of the racetrack. Job down in the 3rd place. You can see he's going to immediately go down to the inside of the driver of that is Roderick Savinovic there, coming battle for P number 2, and Sebastian Job will get the line he needs on that final corner. Number 4 out of 10 will be scored complete this time by the defensive line being taken away. That's not going to help Carroll at all. All it's going to do is it will split the drive between these top 2 drivers in P number 2 and P number 3. You got yourself Savinovic on the outside, you got yourself Job on the inside. Down towards turn number 1 they come. Our aerial comes today is brought to you by And One Design. And what a better time to look at it, Rachel. Down towards turn number 1. And the winner of this battle will be Graham Carroll for the time being. But it's still Savinovic in 2nd and still Sebastian Job in 3rd.
It is, and we have a new friend to join our little top back at the rear there in P5. Stuart Adcock's joined the mix. He's come out of nowhere, Will, to just get involved in this one. These guys fighting so hard, they're falling back to the likes of Ward and O'Leary and Hamilton behind. So looks like Friction could turn up to go and help their teammate Graham Carroll there and get involved in this fight, because this battling is certainly slowing them down.
Yeah, we were looking at P7, P8 between 2 other Friction teammates. You've got Marcus Hamilton in P number 8, Thomas O'Leary in P7. Tom Ward in P number 6. They're still battling in the battle for the race lead. Sebastian Job side by side Roderick Savinovic, as they can see there on the exit of the corner. It'll be Sebastian Job with the inside line as he went himself down towards turn number 6. But the driver of, well, Savinovic is ahead right now, and also Job losing in position to the double O car of Graham Carroll. And Job is losing out every time he makes one of these passes, Rachel. Job is losing out. Savinovic is the best person working himself through traffic right now.
He is, and I do think that Job has right rear damage on the back of that car from that incident in turn 1, Will. The wheel just looks a little pushed in. I think his toe's messed up slightly, and it's making him a little nervous under braking, which means Savinovic can carry more brake, be more confident in the corner than he can. And right now, that is hurting Job so much.
Well, there you can see then your battle for P number 2, P number 3 on the racetrack. A little bit further back, Stuart Adcock runs himself in that number 52 car. So down in the 5th position. He is there in that mix, Rachel. We have got ourselves, so a bit of a separation between P number 5 and P6. Stuart Adcock 2, Tom Ward now up to 1.6 seconds. And all that does, it means that now Adcock has the opportunity to fight forward without having to worry about the consequences of the driver behind him on the racetrack.
Yeah, he does indeed, and things getting frisky at the front again. Bill Mitchell Bend there got 2 wide, running up through there, but throughout this field, Will, it's still 2 wide. It's action everywhere on track right now. You'd believe that every single one of these packs are fighting for the win. Looking further back, of course, we do have the likes of Plumley. He's been running pretty well, but he's on his own right now, part of a train of cars. But there's a couple of guys on the track right now who are involved in some good fights. Of course, we've got Brennan and we've got Peck. We've got Pomfrey and Pomfrey, yeah, side by side right now with Hamilton. Friction on a roll here. 3 wide.
Yeah, down towards turn 1 they come then. Stuart Adcock, you see right behind them there.
Oh,
Two there, 3 wide. We've got a little bit of bit of bang, and that is Thomas O'Leary spun around down on that 12th position. He's falling back in a hurry there. Thomas O'Leary in that number 99 car. Rachel, talk us through it.
Yep, of course, coming into that turn 1 there. Pomfrey's just Simon Povey on the inside there. And 99 car there of O'Leary just getting hooked at the wrong moment. He came across slightly and clipped Povey, sent his car round, and that made contact there with Rob Kane of that Red Devolution Racing Machine, who's unwittingly just destroyed by that incident.
Another replay of that one coming up on the screen. Let's experience that one then down towards turn number 1.
I was going to carry on talking, but yeah, you just see those 3 cars coming into turn 1, and well, there's always room for 3 on a straight. When you get to a corner, it's a little more complicated than that, and I do think O'Leary comes down a little bit at the apex, and not perhaps expecting Povey to be quite so brave, and, well, racing incident, well.
Job has gone back to a race lead. The gap between himself, though, and Carroll, 4 tenths for a second. Job from nowhere, Rachel, now leads this motor race again. We are halfway through. One thing we know about Job is he knows exactly when to time his manoeuvres.
He does indeed, and if he does have slight damage, it's not showing right now. He's back in his usual spot at the front of his field. There's no point just talking about gaps between these cars, Will, because they mean nothing on this racetrack. It could be half a second one lap, and the next time round you'll be in second place. In fact, the next corner you might be in second place. So, of course, these front cars separated by 3 tenths of a second for the front 5 cars, which is just incredible.
Well, one of the interesting points to note as well is that we talked about the damage to Sebastian Job's car, but because this is a very stop-start racetrack, Rachel, compared to tracks like Sonoma, like Laguna Seca, etc. ad nauseam, it doesn't matter that much. And that's the thing with Sebastian Job. He can still use that drafty advantage. The only issue is he will be vulnerable up these long straightaways, as we can see as we ride on board with Graham Carroll right now.
Indeed, I don't think it's aero problems he's got. I do think it's a little bit of right rear toe that's the issue on that car. I think it makes it nervous in perhaps the right-hand corners, whereas he's okay in the left. So, straight line speed, he's just being caught right now by Carroll and Adcock, who are just using that tandem draft to the effect. That's not a problem with Job's car, of course. That's just a massive overspeed of the draft, as both of them go past him there into turn 1. So, something he will have to plan for later in this race if he wants to win.
As they can see Carroll, they can see Adcock, they can see Job. But, wow, 5 cars there, separated by just 9 tenths of a second. Ward in the mix of that one as well, as he heads himself on turn number 2. That is Tom Ward, right on board with him now. Matthew Daniels right behind him, just ahead. Sebastian Job going side by side with Stuart Adcock, battle for P number 2, P number 3 in the racetrack, and this is actually going to be a battle for the race lead, because Carroll will work himself there. They'll go 3 wide, Rachel, then towards turn number 5, and I think it will be that double O car. Carroll moving himself all the way to the front of the field.
He won't actually, well, he might stick it in there, but right now it's Stuart Adcock on the point, who hasn't been there for quite a while, but Adcock getting that car on a good line, but yep, Carroll will have the inside there, and he will come straight through as well. Job as he gets a wobble there from Stuart Adcock, nearly losing out, but holds on to 3rd position as here comes Ward up the inside there of Savidovic. This is getting fighty now, Will.
It is. I was right, just for the record. I was right. Graham Carroll was going to race lead just about 5 corners after I said he would do.
Oh, contact Savidovic and Ward around. Contact as well there for Matthew Daniels.
Well, there's Tom Ward. Oh, another incident there. And that's a 4 laps to go in this event. Tom Ward getting himself another big incident. Let's get ourselves a replay of this one, Rachel. Talk us through it because, well, Tom Ward, this was down in the hurry down section of the racetrack. He has himself a little bit of an incident. That number 80 car alongside him coming down in the exit of the hurry down. So that is Roderick Savidovic. But no one would have thought it would have been as big as this. We super slowing it down. There's the number 09 car, Tom Ward, and Roderick Savidovic aero push for him there in that number 80 car down towards turn number 8. But Ward, Savidovic out of the race, and then a secondary incident as drivers try to scramble around. You've also got yourself Matthew Daniels. He is well off the pace right now.
Yeah, of course. That was quite a difficult incident really, because as he comes through the apex of the corner, Savidovic gets sideways, the back end steps out, that tags Ward and sends him round, and of course initial incident dealt with at that point, 3 cars involved, Daniels also picking up damage, but more importantly, I'm not sure why Tom Ward chose to pull forwards. He had cars on the racing line that were going to go round him. He pulled onto the racing line and collided with Rob Kane and Keith Sharp, so awkward moment there for him, and not something we'd normally see him do.
Graham Carroll looking on board of him as he moves himself to the race lead once again. 2 3/4 laps remaining. That's a Skip Barber Racing, Apex Racing UK car. Sebastian Job right alongside of him. You know what I noticed there, Rachel? Is that Job is not worried about putting all 4 of his wheels onto the asphalt on the exit of the corner. They go side by side once again. We've got contact once again behind there. Rob Kane involved in the incident down towards turn number 1.
Yeah, Rob Kane was already damaged from that incident there with Tom Ward. Further incident actually heading for him now. Coming out the corner, just gets wide onto that grass on the exit. Car seems to settle down, then just loops it under braking. Across the track he goes, and also picks up, I believe that's Dominic Brennan.
He does, and we're having a look there at the replay.
Martin
there.
Peck, I
Rob
apologise.
Kane on the exit of the corner. Oh, that was just an unlucky one there for Rob Kane. Getting that car turned around at the very last minute as he got himself contact with another driver out front. Sebastian Job, Graham Carroll still scrapping it out. It's currently now Job ahead of Carroll versus Adcock. 2 laps remaining after this one, Rachel. 3 drivers involved in the mix. Realistically, it is a 3-horse race as we're right on board with Stuart Adcock. What do you do if you're on that number 52 machine of Adcock?
Well, Adcock's in the advantage seat right now, of course. He's sitting P3. He can let Carroll and Job fight. I do think Job's injuries to his car are going to be critical at the end. He can't be quite as aggressive. They're all sitting back. They're all being fairly relaxed right now, so this isn't a major issue. I think Job will get freight trained. I think Adcock believes that those two will get into each other and open the door for him. He just wants to be in a position where he can take advantage rather than get caught. Of course, they're 4.4 seconds clear of Marcus Hamilton in 4th position right now, thanks to those major incidents. And, well, it's time to start thinking strategically here as the 2 wide at the front between Carroll and Joe.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sebastian Joe pushing a little bit wide. You can see side by side there with Graham Carroll. The battle for the race in Carroll almost turning right across him through Bill Mitchell Bend. Carroll has the lead. There'll be 2 laps to go this time by Adcock down to the inside of Sebastian Joe out the final corner. 2 laps to go, 8 miles of racing, anything can happen, and well, this is why we love Monday Night Skippys here on RaceSpotTV, as now Carroll alongside Sebastian Job down towards turn number 1, and Graham Carroll will lose that race lead, but he'll gain it back in a moment, Rachel, alongside Sebastian Job. Any one of these 2 drivers can still do it. This is an amazing battle.
It is indeed. I think any one of these 3 can still do it if we know anything from Road America, of course. But right now, here we go. Here comes the quiet man, Stuart Adcock. Pretty inside of Carroll there, looking towards the inside of Job. We know Job's a little nervous on the right-handers. Adcock slots in line there, P2. He will have that run now with the draft on Job, so we could see a change of position here as to start breaking the toe there. Trying to stop that advantage, but it's not going to work as, Carroll's going to make a move first. That's kind of locked Adcock in position right now, but, well, will he move over and let him out? No, he will not, but he'll follow him through.
Well, you look backwards at this stage of the race, Rachel, as it's now Carroll from Joe from Adcock. And if you're any of these 3 drivers, all you want to do is think about setting yourself up to be in P2 on the run out of the king of the final corner. But Job, ultra aggressive there, down towards turn number 6. He wants that race lead back as they come down into Hoedowns. Turn number 7, side by side there, battle for your race lead between the double O car of Graham Carroll, Sebastian Job on the outside of the inside line down to the next corner. But you've also got Stuart Adcock right there in the mix as well. Your top 3 drivers currently separated by just 1/3 of a second. But Sebastian Job, the outside line down in towards the carousel underneath the speedful bridge. What racing we have! Side by side, Job has to concede.
He does indeed, tucking in there behind the spoiler of Graham Carroll.
It's
So
a wing.
close. That was attached to the rear wing right there. He was practically hooked underneath him. That was incredible. 2 wide through the kink. They don't do this. Wait, they are doing this. 2 wide through the kink at Road America. That takes balls.
And Graham Carroll lost out the most there, but that could be strategic, Rachel. 1 lap and a quarter left to go. Carroll wouldn't mind being banned in P number 3 because now Adcock goes to the point. Job is, well, started this lap in P2. He still is in P number 2.
He is indeed, and wow, Carroll, we know, has got great speed out that final corner. This is really to the disadvantage of Stuart Adcock. I think they both wanted to be in second behind him, and he's going to be the dummy to that little slingshot maneuver.
Peter once said, I
He's
think
lost
we're
it, there
going
we
to
go,
make
he's
it.
going wide.
Down at the final corner. This is strategicness potentially though to Stuart Adcock 52 car losing that race lead. A sitting duck time for Sebastian Job. The white flag is out. One more lap to go. Graham Carroll looking down to the inside. Feeder once said, I think we're going to make it. I have no idea who's going to make it to the top end of this podium at the end of this race. 4 miles worth of racing to go. We circle our cameras round and towards turn number 1. It'll be Sebastian Job versus Graham Carroll through turn number 1, through turn number 2. Rachel underneath the first bridge they come. P number 4 and 5. They are not too far back. They're catching up that last time by 2 seconds faster.
They are indeed. These guys fighting so much. It's just eating up that time advantage they have, and it might not be enough for the end of this race, but it's certainly going to make things a lot closer should one or two of them have a wobble or an incident. This is where it all matters now. You do not want to be first coming out of that final corner. You are going to lose the race. That's a guarantee. We've seen these guys get into the line, and even on your own with a great exit, you can go so far. Oh, he's round! Carroll's round! Job, contact!
Oh, this is down towards turn number 5. They can see Carroll. It's actually Job will come back onto the racetrack. He still has the race lead there. But I'm sure Ascot, Carroll is behind, but Savinovic is right up behind them now. This is down towards turn number 6. Job goes wide. This is down towards turn. He's off. He's out of the race. Sebastian Job is out of the race, but it means that Adcock currently leads from Savinovic, from Hamilton, from Daniels, Sharp. We've got Job all the way down. We've also got Carroll out as well for the time being. We'll get ourselves another look at this one after the race, but Stuart Adcock leads the race. Can he hold off Roderick Savinovic, Marcus Hamilton and Matthew Daniels in the last half an lap of this race? We look from the rear then of the driver of Stuart Adcock. Through the kink they come, down towards the kink and Canada corner for the final time. You Roderick Savinovic, you never thought you'd get this moment. You knew you were 2.5 seconds back, but now the top 3 drivers have got themselves into incident. This is all game time. Savinovic to the outside. It's got to go to the corner. He doesn't need to make the pass yet. He can do it all the way to the final corner, but Savinovic will go to the point there. Instead of Canada the corner, now it's Marcus Hamilton. Can he do anything? Just 2 corners left to go now. Through Bill Mitchell Bend they come. You can see Marcus Hamilton, the number 64 car. But out of the final corner they will come for the final time. Roderick Savinovic, after starting this lap, he gets turned around in the final corner. Savinovic versus the 64 car of Hamilton. Hamilton will go to the point. Up the hill they come. It'll be Marcus Hamilton from nowhere who will claim victory here today in the Club UK and Ireland Skip Barber Racing School Championship. Hamilton will be Savinovic from Hamilton, and then it will be Adcock in the mix as well. Rachel, what a crazy finish we've just had.
That was incredible. Well, and the mistake from Savinovic there cost Adcock that podium. And, well, out of nowhere, even more nowhere than Marcus Hamilton, Keith Sharp steals the podium. What a final lap. That was crazy. These guys are just incredible. And I don't even think I know how to word right now.
Well, we're getting ourselves a couple of replays here up on your screen. Yep, we've all lost our voices. Welcome to Monday Night Skippies, ladies and gentlemen. Before that Monday nights were boring. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just found a way of proving you wrong. They can see Savinovic there, final corner, the final lap. It ain't NASCAR, but it's just about as competitive. They can see Savinovic side by side. Battle for the race lead between himself and Marcus Hamilton, working themselves up the hill. Marcus Hamilton will be the beneficiary of that one. But here's an interesting point. Stuart Adcock on the exit of the corner. You can see himself through Savinovic as he works himself up the hill. He just plows it along. He's the only driver not to have real incident. He goes past one driver as he works himself through the Caterpillar Bridge down towards start finish line. Look at Stuart Adcock there at the very end of this event. It was a crazy one for him. Let's go back though and have a look at incidents previous, and this was down in towards Canada corner. We'll have a look at Sebastian Job. This is where it all really kicked off as we have a look now on board with Sebastian Job. He was at the rear end of your pack at this point. You can see he was out of the race, but we cycle that camera back and we have a look at the dying moment of this, the Club UK Ireland Skip Barber Racing School Championship here from Road America. on the exit of turn number 6. And you see Job going wide at this particular point of the event. Then down into turn number 7. While he, at this point, is out of the event. Going a little bit too wide in turn number 6. Pushing wide, getting onto that grass. He is out as well as Graham Carroll. Graham Carroll can show you that one in just one moment's time. But he also is classified as out of the event as far as your top 5 or 6 drivers goes. But here you can see then Stuart Adcock versus Marcus Hamilton versus Roderick Savidovic, and we knew at this point any one of these 3 drivers could really win it here today. And Graham Carroll, well, there you can see Graham Carroll. By this point he was already out of the race. Let's have a look, Rachel, and show you what happened to Graham Carroll, because a heartbreak for him and also a heartbreak for Sebastian Job.
It was indeed. Of course, it was that contact they had at turn 6, just trying to get a little too aggressive, and well, they both ended up paying for it. And really sad, but we went from seeing 3 guys we thought would be dead certs for the podium to 3 completely different people, which is just the way Road America works. It's so random. And well, speaking of the draft, biggest mover of the race, of course, Mark Mercer. The story does not quite tell it correctly. Yes, he qualified in P2. He started from pit lane. They make you wait 15 seconds after the last car's gone past the exit before you can leave. He basically started this race in 41st, and he finished P12, which is an incredible achievement from Mark Mercer.
That's a very good one there from Mark Mercer. Getting ourselves one more look then for my aerial coverage brought to you by And One Design down towards turn number 5. There you can see the double O car of Graham Carroll lost on all by himself, Rachel. Job had nowhere to go. 52 car of Adcock went opportunistic down in towards turn number 5. Job suffered, Carroll suffered, Adcock was able to hold on, and well, one of these things, last up of the race, we know how this track can destroy tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an evil track. It's so fast. Big mix of slow and fast corners, so it's quite a tough race to actually run here. And speaking of someone who's run here, this is his first race here today in the You Can Ask Skip Barber Racing School series. We have Martin Brandon with us, of course.
No, we don't.
Do we not? I thought we did.
It's Matthew Daniels there first.
It's Matthew Daniels.
And before that, we've got to do the results. Come on. You wanted to do the results, Rachel?
Well, I was just getting ahead of myself. Go for it, Will.
No, you know, you can do the results.
Can I? Oh, excellent.
Right, starting this. 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, your race winner tonight, of course, Marcus Hamilton, the surprise, if not shock winner, after late race incidents. Behind him, Wojciech Savidovic claims P2, and Keith Sharp sneaks through for the final step on the podium. Stuart Adcock loses out, of course, in the last corner. He sits P4, Matthew Daniels P5, Dominic Brennan in P6. Behind them, Fahim Antonides, Sebastian Job, Tom Ward, and Mark Turner round at your top 10. Rest of those results up on the screen right now.
They are. There you can see P11 through 20 now coming up on your screen. His name was Grunhill, Mark Mercer, Paul Thurston, Robert Plumley, Rich Jones, Tim Adcock, Rob Marshall, Michael Watson, Brendan O'Brien, Patrick Fairbanks. He rounds out your top 20. The rest of those are coming up as we are talking incoherently, because you know what? It's Monday Night Skippies, and that is what we do. We will now have the chance to have a chat with Matthew Daniels. He came home at the front end of your field, but Matthew Daniels, what a crazy last lap and a half of this race we had here today. Came home P5. That could have been P1, could have been P20 without any real change.
Yeah, that was crazy stuff. So much action, my word. Yeah, I'm glad to stay out of most of it, although I did suffer a bit of contact with Roderick Savidovic when he spun around, and unfortunately the damage resulted in me having less straight line speeds, which really hampers me on the straights. So yeah, 5th was all I could do, but still, considering what's happened, I'm glad to come away with 5th place. It could have been an awful lot worse.
In this car at this track, Road America is a little bit like Talladega. We've got that one out of the way now. We've still got ourselves a couple of rounds of the championship to go here in the Club Beacon Island Skip Barber Racing School Series. Next time out, we head ourselves, well, over to the Canadian Tires Motorsports Park, and that is one which is going to be a draft fest. It very easily can come out on the exit of the final corner of the final lap. The experiences here today, how will that translate in 1 week's time?
Yeah, well, as we've seen, I'm not a big fan of a draft fest, so I didn't dare get involved in the really close battles right up front. Yeah, I don't quite have the confidence racing really up close to the other cars, but we'll see what I can do. Fingers crossed.
Well, thank you very much. Matthew Daniels come home in P number 5 here today. Rachel is now talking to the driver who she wanted to talk to about 3.5 minutes ago.
Well, I did indeed, and I'm just so keen because this is his first race tonight in the You Can I Skip Barber Racing School series, of course. We are talking about Martin Brandon. Martin, how did it go for you?
Hiya.
Yes, we said hello now. You can move on to talking about your race.
Well, I always knew I was going to be at.
Not you.
I
Will.
always knew I was going to be at the back. I was just hoping to have a totally clean race, to be honest. Unfortunately, I ruined it on the last lap with 2 off tracks.
Well, clean race or not, you did come from 37th on the grid to 23rd in your first race, which is an astounding achievement. And so, initial thoughts of the series. What do you think?
I quite like it, actually.
There you go.
Hopefully,
Resounding praise.
Hopefully, I can get a bit faster and get in with a bit more, a few more battles.
Well, as hopefully most of our viewers who aren't involved in this series might see, there's a huge spread of speed here, and the racing is respectable, if not somewhat chaotic, on the mega track of Road America. But did you enjoy yourself? That's the most important part.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And that, as you said, there are very respectful drivers in this series. You know, they go off track and they just sit there knowing that somebody's coming round. They wait for them to go round and then they join afterwards.
Oh, there you go. That was Martin Brandon, of course. He finishes in P23. Will?
Well, you know, if you want to go around corner that and then maybe wait for me to actually go around corner before you try to go back on the track, what am I supposed to do? But
Will's turn to finish.
yeah,
It's
it's
the race.
one of those days. Yeah, it's a nice finish to the race. It's a crazy finish to the race. And Rachel, next time out, we head to the track once known as Mosport before those commercial bastards decided they were going to sponsor it. It's now known as the Canadian Tires Motorsports Park.
It is indeed. It's a great circuit. In fact, I was only racing NASCAR trucks around there last week, so my view of the track is going to be very different to the low-slung Skip Barber race cars here this week. But it's an awesome circuit, and it's going to be great racing, so cannot wait for next week.
Yeah, that will, of course, be here, same time, same place, in just 1 week's time here on RaceSpotTV, because that is what we do. We bring you the best series in the entirety of the world. And then we broadcast it for you every single week. Coming up soon, we've got ourselves the 2015 Icing.com Indianapolis 500. We're actually going to have a meeting about that in about, I don't know, 4 minutes time. We've also got ourselves coverage of the Icing.com World Championship Grand Prix Series. That's every fortnight here on RaceSpot.TV. Champions of the Futures World Touring Car Championship every Tuesday night. The SEC Blue Cup, that is it's every week, Rachel. Then it's not every week because I have a gap in between races and it confuses me.
Yeah, everything confuses you, Will, and everything confuses me because you run on GMT times, I run on British Summer Time, and races are on different weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. It's so complicated. But you know what? It's worth showing up for because this amazing racing here on RaceSpot TV.
You've also got yourself the ISOWC IndyCar Series. That is on Saturday. Then finally, you've got yourself the Skip Barber 2K World Cup with myself, Will Vincent, and anyone else except for one individual, and that'll be on Sunday night at 8 PM GMT. This, in the interim, has been a RaceSpot TV presentation of the Club UK and Ireland Skip Barber Racing School Championship here from Road America. We shall talk to you all next time. Watch it!